The moments that change the course of history don't always unfold in royal courts or military headquarters. Sometimes they begin with a single flame burning in the heart of one person. The year was 1898 in Washington. Theodore Roosevelt was a rising statesman walking the corridors of power with a future paved in safety, comfort, and guaranteed ascent. But he didn't choose that path. He left his secure office with resolve. He gave up comfort and embraced chaos. So why would a man abandon the safe road to power and run toward a fate that a single bullet could end in a second? What made him a hero, or perhaps a reckless madman? When war broke out, Roosevelt wrote to President McKinley, "I cannot sit out this war in a chair. My place is with my men in the front trench." Everyone around him called it political suicide. But Roosevelt didn't listen. He resigned and set out to form one of the most extraordinary units in American history, the Rough Riders. This wasn't an army, it was a collection of misfits. Roosevelt looked at them and said, "When they look at us, they'll see more than just a group. They'll see the spirit of America. I won't ask the impossible from you, because we are the impossible." But Cuba was no adventure novel. It was hell itself. And irony hit them in the face from the start. America's only volunteer cavalry regiment had to leave most of their horses in Florida due to lack of space on the ships. The Rough Riders were now fighting as infantry. Their target, the San Juan Heights. Spanish soldiers were perfectly entrenched on the hills, wielding deadly Mauser rifles. The American troops below were completely exposed. That night, a colonel whispered to Roosevelt with concern, "This is suicide, Theodore. We can't climb those hills like this. We'll send the men to slaughter." Roosevelt looked at the map and in the flickering lamplight replied, "No, Colonel, the real suicide is to sit here and wait for them to pick us off one by one. We can't leave our fate in others' hands." July 1st, 1898. When the moment came, it was a symphony of hell. American soldiers lay helpless under a deadly rain of fire from above. No orders were coming, officers were hesitating, and time was running out. Every second meant another life lost. And in that moment, something snapped inside Roosevelt. He wouldn't wait. He wouldn't ask history to wait for him. He ran toward a nearby horse named Little Texas and leapt onto it. Instantly, he became the only moving and the biggest target on the battlefield. He turned to his men and the soldiers in the neighboring trenches. His voice rose louder than the cannons. "While I'm on horseback, are you afraid to stand up?" For a moment, they froze. Then one stood, then 10, then hundreds. All rose. He didn't give an order. He became the order. Drawing his revolver, he led the legendary charge. It wasn't a military tactic. It was the triumph of will over matter. Cowboys, athletes, lawmen, all charged toward death behind their leader. When they took Kettle Hill, they stood breathless and soaked in blood and sweat. They hadn't just captured a hill, they had seized fate itself. That day, more than a battle was won at San Juan Heights. A legend was born. Newspapers wrote of Colonel Roosevelt's daring charge, and America had found a new hero. He was no longer just a politician. He was a fearless leader who ran at the front. What made him charge that hill? Madness? Heroism? Maybe it was neither. Maybe it was the purest form of Roosevelt's lifelong belief in a philosophy he called the strenuous life. He believed that real life wasn't lived in comfortable harbors, but on stormy seas. Greatness wasn't for those afraid of risk. It was for those who walked into hardship. For him, climbing that hill wasn't a choice, but a necessity, because according to Theodore Roosevelt, far and away the best prize that life has to offer is the chance to work hard at work worth doing. History cannot be rewritten, but on echoes through time it lives again.